The weirdest porn I've ever seen.
Okay, we're live. Hello, everybody. We're running a little bit late. We're having fun over here chatting with the Wastelander of the Month, Ravage. We got a little sidetracked. We have a lot to catch up on. It's been a long quarantine. How is everybody doing?
The interpreter is squeaking over there.
Because I said something and then she was talking. I'm like, I wonder if they heard me say this is the weirdest live porn I've ever seen.
We all heard that.
Yeah, no, I definitely
we
heard
all heard that.
And if you didn't hear it the first time, you heard it the second time.
I am, of course, your nightmare, Mr. Fahrenheit. I'm doing quite well, Ms. Thank you.
And how are you doing, interpreter?
I'm doing fine.
She's trying to not gasp like a fish out of water.
I don't try anymore. I just embrace it.
And we got Ravage with us, our Wastelander of the Month, and the tri-leader of the Order of the V8, among many other things. How are you doing, Ravage?
I'm good. How are you?
That was very civilized in comparison to everybody else's.
Oh, sorry. War! Oh, I got.
There we go.
Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I see some people coming in. So yeah, is there any current Wasteland news we can think of to announce before we get started? I think the last time we spoke, I think we had already covered that. Unfortunately, both Wasteland and Neotropolis are postponed until next year.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
But you can still purchase your ticket for 2021.
And you should if you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Help
highly
out the
recommend.
folks in charge.
Yeah, exactly. Highly recommended to go for that early. Supposedly they were talking about, did I say supposedly? Supposedly
Ooh.
they were I've never said that. They were talking about maybe opening a merch store, but I don't know what the status on that is. They've been saying that for quite a while.
Yes. It's going to open. I'm not sure when it will open. It's going to open during summer sometime, and everybody can just order what they want. But I believe it's only going to be open for a limited amount of time. So it's like open for a while, everybody orders everything, and then it's going to get shipped to them either directly from the vendor or to someone's house and then shipped out that way. But that's how you can get all your chevrons.
Yeah.
When I heard
Yeah,
that it was when I heard it was a thing, I'm like, I will help make this happen. Yes.
Yeah, I think you were one of the first people I remember back even like years ago when they were talking about having a merch store. You were like expressing interest in wanting to help back then. That was like in 2014.
Because I hate waiting in line.
Yeah.
I hate lines.
If you guys are thinking you're going to miss out on the chevron for this year, they are supposed to be having one out to make up. So if you're a collector of those chevrons, there should still be one for the year.
Did they decide which of the two styles they were going to do?
I think everybody voted for enough of both.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to do both.
What were on each one of them? Do you guys remember?
One's just it's like Wasteland Weekend 12, and the other one was, I think, Fuck 20 or Fuck 12 or Fuck 20.
I don't know. I used to collect them, but the merch store is always so packed now. I usually don't make it over.
I have them. I have no idea where they are.
Yeah, lines are horrible.
I have
volunteer.
I have all the chevrons, and none of them are on any piece of my clothing.
Yeah, no, they're in the Wasteland bucket somewhere.
I like that everybody has just like a giant Tupperware thing or something just filled with the Wasteland stuff. Like I still need to organize. I like the main shield one that they have, but I always feel weird having all like the chevrons on because I feel like eventually you're just gonna have a vest full of just chevrons. But some people have done it really aesthetically pleasing.
Do it at like your neck, and then just have your chevrons line your spine.
Oh, that's a good idea. I might steal that.
You are the Wastelander. You're the Wastelander of the Month. You're entitled to it.
Hey guys, I have this great idea for what to do.
Don't steal the idea. Just do it.
Man, I was so smart making Bren the Wastelander of the Month. Good job, Ravage. Great ideas.
Thank you.
Is there any other news that we can think of? I know that I don't think Uranium Springs has been outright canceled.
It's been indefinitely postponed because they don't know when they're going to be able to do it, but they are putting a big emphasis on hygiene and making it be like safe and clean. They've added new stuff to the gates to make the property safer, so you don't have people wandering on there. But right now
Those
it's
are always
very
the highlight, though.
Yeah, right now it's a very wait and see situation.
Definitely. I think that goes for pretty much every other event really as well. So let's break into the questions, shall we? Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about before we get started. No?
I kind of want to point out that Ravage mentioned that they don't like a lot of attention, and so this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's right. Ravage is one of those people at Wasteland that I think most people are aware of. Most people know them by name, by reputation, whatever. But I think one of the main reasons we selected you, Ravage, is you're weirdly very sweet and humble. I think a lot of people are very intimidated by you. I know I was for sure. But I know you don't like a lot of attention put on you. So of course we put you here. We're going to ask you a bunch of questions in the public eye.
Good thing there's no camera because it's quite the grimace.
That sounds like a lovely smile on your face. I can do it.
One of these days we got to get all the Wastelanders of the month together and we'll do like a video Brady Bunch thing where we can see everybody.
That would be fun.
We have to figure out a song.
And Ms., in case you want to show the current chevron designs, I'm actually going to send those to you right now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we'll show them. I don't know the exact date when they're coming out, but I know that they are. And Interpreter's on top of it because they're going to have that web store. So stay tuned for that.
They are.
When I find out, I will let everybody else know, but it'll probably be after they're already released. So I'll be like, hey, guys, did you see this 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, we'll post about it. We'll keep you guys up to date. So, Ravage, how long have you been going to Wasteland? When was your first year?
2015.
What?
Yeah, the big
Fury
year.
Road year.
Yep. I'd wanted to go for a while because my friend who actually got me to finally go had been going for quite a few years. I think her first year is 2012 or 2013. And she finally convinced me to go because I could go for my job. And I went as press, my first Wasteland.
Oh.
So I was paid to be at my first Wasteland, which was great.
Oh,
Brad.
Glam.
Yeah. And then that was a pretty... and then I was also a performer that year. So it was a lot of hats for...
As a war boy?
I did drag with Pangea.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been
Do
a
you
part
have
of
videos
Pangea.
of that?
I don't think there's video, which is a shame because I was a topless war boy.
What?
And I had people steal my boots. And remember when they had that community stage that was just a trailer off to the side?
Yes, I loved that. I really wish they'd bring that back, actually.
That was the stage we performed on that year. So I don't know how many people knew about it, but we had a decent sized crowd.
I should ask first. I should have asked you first to introduce yourself, like how you would describe yourself in the community and stuff, so everybody gets a little.
I can do that.
Let's do it now. How would you describe yourself?
Please do, Ravage.
Just pull up my OkCupid.
Yes. We can help you go through some of your matches if you'd like.
Oh, that'd be fun.
The trick to OkCupid is put yourself as a lesbian, and then you don't get really dirty messages. I mean, you have to be into girls for that to work for you. But FYI, for those
a valid strategy.
I don't know how it'll work for you, Fahrenheit, but
Fahrenheit is like, I'm a total lesbian. I love women.
My name is Ravage, and I am a war boy and leader of the war boy tribe, the Order of the V8. I also volunteer for the event as the sort of display war boys that are on the war rig. And I also am the co-leader of the SoCal Bombshells chapter. And we do post-apocalyptic burlesque.
So you spent your first year. How different was it being like a person, like a press person versus just like an average attendee or even just what you do now? As
press, it was a little more difficult to have fun because I was there as a photographer. So it's a lot of focus on, is my camera okay? How do I get this dirt out of my camera? I need to find a place to charge the battery for my camera. And then finding people to take pictures of and talk to. So like the highlights of that year were the nights that I was just like, no camera, and left it in the tent.
And how did you go from that to being the major tribe leader?
That is a strange story. So that was a job that I had for a shitty listicle website that hired me and a bunch of other writers because they wanted to legitimize their brand and start having long form journalism. And then they realized that didn't make money, so then they made all of these writers they hire do listicles. So went from writing long form film criticism and like junket and red carpet coverage stories to 10 cutest cats and hats kind of thing. And then they went under. Yeah. And then after they went under, they laid off all the writers. See, you are the reason why we weren't allowed to do long form journalism anymore. It's all your fault.
That
no,
really
the
is
other
how
thing
all of
too. I'm sorry, clickbait is great sometimes though.
that is how all those websites are now, though. Very rarely are there actual, like, is it an actual article anymore? It seems like BuzzFeed has made a whole career out of that.
Yeah, I tried to get them to let me write film reviews in the listicle format, like 10 reasons to watch this movie or 10 reasons not to watch this movie. But before I was allowed to try that, they went under and they fired all their writers. And then I got a job as a technical writer editor, which is what I currently do, which is a lot more boring but more secure. And so because of that, now I have a decent job that allows me to take time off so I can just enjoy my Wasteland. But I'm bad at that because I keep taking jobs at Wasteland.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say,
I know what that's like.
I could never imagine what that could be like at all.
I was gonna say you do a lot. I know that the War Boys really are kind of like the major face of Wasteland. So to the people watching who see all those War Boys and pretty much all the promotion pictures on the wall and stuff, that is the Order of the V8. So how long have
the Elite Guard
and the Elite Guard, yes, who have been there since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So how long have you been with the Order of the V8?
So after I did my first year with my friend's tribe, that year I scoped out the War Boys because also the War Boys' first year was 2015 for obvious reasons. And I spoke to Captain Mayhem and expressed interest in joining, and was in War Boy makeup at the time because I just finished my drag War Boy performance. And talked about joining. And then after the event, he added me to their page and got a little bit vetted and then joined. And from then on out, I was in the Warboy tribe and kind of went into it head first. Got a vehicle that has still not made it to Wasteland, but will do so one day. And a trailer that I Warboyed out that I live in when I'm at Wasteland. And yeah, so I've been in the tribe since shortly after Wasteland 2015.
And that's why you guys should always hold off from joining a tribe right away, because you might find someone you click with while you're at your first event. So how did you go from there to being the leader?
Cap asked me. He needed he got a new work schedule and wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it, and wanted to pass leadership on to somebody else who would be there and who had the time and energy to put into the position of leadership. And I'm bad at saying no. And I was also just really, really honored that he would have thought of me at all, and considered me for that position. And I accepted, and that was sometime before last Wasteland. And it's been pretty wonderful. I couldn't ask for a better tribe to be a part of, let alone leadership of.
Yeah. Did you ever plan on being a tribe leader prior to that?
Nope, not one bit. I didn't have any plans for ever being in the city or hanging out with the cool kids or tribe leadership or anything like that. It was all very much a surprise, but it ended up working out pretty well.
It's a really cool camp. It
Thank
really
you.
is.
We worked real hard on it.
Do you guys do you and your tribe or just you solo? Do you go to any other PA events, or are there any that you want to attend? Anything you know, I know that there's stuff over in Europe. I know that you travel around, and then there's just stuff over here in Arizona and stuff like that. Is there any event you have your eye on or that you've been to?
I have been to Winter Games and Detonation. I'd like to check out some of the other ones, especially some of the European ones. I know
Yes.
Beans was talking about taking us all to
Was it
Poland.
was it Old Town or was it?
I think it was Junktown.
There's
Yeah.
Junktown,
Yeah, Old Town and Junktown. Yeah.
I think it was
Oh
Junktown.
my, I really want to go to that.
And then I went to the 40th anniversary of Mad Max 1 in Australia, where they filmed it. And that was
right.
an incredible experience. And then went to the Mad Max 2 event in Silverton, where they filmed Mad Max 2.
You went with, is that you and False Prophet went to that, correct?
Correct. And
Awesome.
Tank and our Morton Joe and his wonderful wife, who is the Bullet Farmer's daughter with our tribe.
Rad.
And we
And is
were
that the-
hoping,
Is that the same Bullet Farmer's daughter that's the author?
yes, she wrote the
Okay.
book that was, that I think she was handing them out this past Wasteland.
I wanted to read that. I want to get like a physical copy.
I'll make sure you get one.
I would definitely be down to purchase one of those. I like the cover art and stuff.
Yeah.
That looked like a cool experience. I remember when that the pictures of that all came out. I hope that they're doing okay during all this. I know they have the museum and stuff out there, right?
Yeah, and the museum, which was an incredible experience seeing all that stuff, including like Fury Road props. And I'm a huge fan of the originals. Like I grew up watching those with my dad, but Fury Road is one of those films that obviously spoke to me in a really big way. So seeing like the steering wheel there, it was just like, oh my God. And then like the vehicles that are in the back, and the museum's only open during certain seasons when they get tourists. But that town, like they had T-shirts that said something like 27 people, 1 donkey, and a fuck ton of kangaroos. So they're pretty much able to hunker down pretty well out there. And they like the locals, they were all in the movies. So like they would come out and they'd tell you their stories about filming Mad Max 2. And there was this one woman who still had her original costume.
Oh my gosh.
And she would walk
That's awesome
around.
that they let her keep it.
I don't know if they let her. She walked around holding one hand out and like wouldn't touch anything with it and wouldn't let people touch it because she was wearing a glove, a fingerless glove. And she said it was Mel Gibson's glove that she stole off the set. His costume. So she would wear it around whenever there was a huge crowd for the Mad Max 2 events.
The holy hand.
Who went all over. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And then they take you out to where
That's
like,
where that glove went.
Don't tell Mel.
All of a sudden, like you get a knock on the door. Mel sent us.
And then they also take you out to like where the big chases and crashes were filmed with metal detectors, so you can go looking for pieces of the car. Like I have a big bag of windshield glass from the original Interceptor from where they crashed that.
Oh my gosh,
That's
that's
rad.
cool.
And it's supposed to be happening for the 40th anniversary early next year. And we're trying to get a whole bunch of Wastelanders to go out to that. If
Oh my
it's
gosh,
still
I want to
happening.
go.
So start saving now.
I know. Shoot. There was I remember back when they used to have it's like I guess pop-up video or whatever. They played the first Mad Max on TV not that long ago with the like pop-up facts, which are always really fun.
Yeah.
And there was the scene where the couple gets pulled out of the car. I remember in the pop-up it was like this actress got injured when they were pulled through the window. And then, like, right as it says that she's like, ah, they pull her through, and it's like, you can actually see it happen right here. And then it says, like, she was okay. It's happening. Yeah, I don't think that they, a lot of that seemed very slapdash to get it. I don't know if it was all filmed legally on that land and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a pretty punk movie.
The gas refinery set is now on sacred land. And you they will allow you in for one day as part of the event, to go and dig around the site where the tanker blew up and look for pieces of that. But yeah, that's Sacred Land. So you can't go there without a guide, but they organize a way to visit it as part of that event, which is very cool.
Very cool.
But the Interceptor crash is just right off the side of the highway, right outside of town. Like you drive by it on your way in after you swerve around some kangaroos.
And how long did you guys stay for that?
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, it was a while because it was like a week at one event and a week at the other, with a couple days in Sydney and what's the other big one where we flew into?
Melbourne.
Melbourne. Thank you. We flew into Melbourne. So a couple days at each location, and then so it was about 2 weeks, I want to say.
That sounds really cool. I hope they get the chance to do it again. If not now, then maybe they can postpone it with all the madness going on. Are you planning on attending Neotropolis? Do you guys have plans as a tribe or anything?
I'm planning on attending, and a few of our tribe members are as well. Though I think we're all doing our own thing this time. I know some members are looking at it as a opportunity to do a smaller thing and not being a part of such a high profile tribe, which definitely. I totally get.
I respect that.
Yeah. And then there's my dumbass who's like, I have an idea for an entire faction.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I wanted you to talk about that if you were comfortable, because I thought your idea sounded pretty ambitious in comparison to some of the other ones.
Oh,
I've been hearing. So
we're talking it up, but it's mostly trash, but like fancy trash with neon. Like my idea for Neotropolis is to do a cyberpunk sci-fi freak show, and to have like a tent and getting involved with the sort of burgeoning lore that Adam has already come up with the exosapiens and the modded humans, and then the upper decker folk that Fahrenheit knows all about.
I'm sure I don't know what you're referring to.
Sabotage.
Freak exosapiens. That should be your Neotropolis name. Sabotage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I did not think of sabotage. I am not taking credit for that.
I find
that was another one of Ravage's.
I find Mr. Fahrenheit is ominous enough for both the apocalypse and a cyberpunk dystopia.
No, you should make it Mr.
Double
Kelvin
identity
for that one.
Everybody who's watching this, make sure you call him Mr. Sabotage at Neotropolis.
But yeah, so the plan is the freak show, and it's basically just going to be a garage carport tent that I paint to look like a freak show tent. And down the line, maybe we can incorporate the Warboy structure into what we want to do, but that's definitely a later thing, not a first year thing. And the idea is, in the front area there's a sort of oddities museum. I don't know if any of you ever made it to the Venice Beach Freak Show or any of their freak shows when they were still around. But they have that area where there's the cool stuff. Yeah, I miss it so much. Stupid Snapchat.
I know. I don't know. I used to want to go on like a tour of all the last ones, but a lot of them are disappearing now, I guess, with the current culture and stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
people don't want to support it.
Because they would have really cool stuff and like historical artifacts, and probably some of them were fake. Most of them were fake, but
I love gaps though. I really do. Like even the fake ones are pretty entertaining.
Oh yeah. So we want to do something like that, where in the waiting area you have this sort of oddities museum where we're going to embrace the cult of 84. Was that what Jared called it?
Cult of 84. Yeah. Yes.
So we're going to embrace that and have like an 80s area where we'll have some 80s artifacts, but also I have taxidermy already. I have a lot of dead animals, so I want to put those on display and be like, look, these are replicant animals, and then like have a star piece that's actually a real animal.
We can afford a real owl.
Yeah, exactly. And have that in the front, and in the back we're going to have performances from Clickbait, who's working on
I was about to say, I know. Yeah, I was going to say, I know a performer for you. That was going to be Clickbait.
Yep. We've already been talking with her. She's working on a cyberpunk version of her act. And then I'm going to be the electric person, where I will like hold light bulbs and they'll light up, and if you touch them, you get shocked, and you
Ooh.
can see the electricity arc.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're paying for power from Adam. And
This
then
sounds very
Seems a lot
cool.
easier than trying to bring out a generator and everything.
oh yeah,
Yes.
much easier. And then our star attraction is going to be the last unaltered human, and it's going to be just a dude in like his boxers. He's going to have no tattoo,
Ooh. Ah.
no mods.
Mom,
and
he's
just,
disgusting.
yeah, exactly. Just going to look at him and be like, oh, why? Why would
Is he
you be
just eating
blind?
like potato chips?
Yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do that.
For $1, you may touch him.
You can feed him. Or have little like old world snacks you can give him.
Keep your hand
Yes.
flat. Keep it flat.
A little like vending machine with Cheetos in it. You put a quarter in, like at a feeding zoo.
No sudden movements. He might try to shake.
That sounds very cool. I'm excited about that. That's one of the major like Neotropolis tribe ideas I've heard that I've gotten excited about. People, you guys need to think of stuff that's weird. Go weird all the way.
I mean, I love cyberpunk as well. I like I love post-apocalyptic stuff. I also really love cyberpunk and sci-fi. So this is an opportunity to take those experience that I have from Wasteland and apply it to a completely different genre and go nuts with it.
Do you
And
already
something
have
that's not tied to lore?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think a lot of people are this is gonna be a big chance for people to start new lore and get involved if that's something that you guys are interested in. And I don't know, there's a lot of crossover, but I do think it's a totally different kind of look, hopefully a new feel. So I think now that we have this extra year, this event can really have a chance to grow visually into something very cool.
I was nervous about that original deadline. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, that's
Yeah.
something. I don't know.
I had a
It's gonna be a lot of
jacket.
Neo basic. Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if this jacket can carry the whole thing, and it was like hardly. I don't even know if it can carry it now. So, do you have any advice for newcomers attending Wasteland specifically?
Yeah, get involved with the community online first. Don't get too involved because it's not. It can be toxic, but it helps you to get an idea of what you're going to look for, things you want to do when you're there. The event guides that people make and post on the in the groups are invaluable, because I know that I feel like I never hear about things until I'm there, and then I have other commitments.
Yes.
So there's a lot of really valuable tools online. And something you mentioned earlier, Miss Mayor, was not to hold off on joining a tribe until you've gone, because you never know. You have no idea what Wasteland is like until you're there. You may think you do. Pictures don't do it justice. Video doesn't do it justice. It is a completely different beast when you're there.
And to our repeat listeners who may have heard us say this every single Wastelander of the month, it just goes to show you it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, joining
That's a questionable idea.
Joining a tribe is a huge commitment. We still see people in the groups asking to join a tribe, and A, you don't have to. B, it's not a good idea, because 90% of the people we've interviewed so far have, if you've noticed, they're not with the tribes that they started out with. That's usually how it works. You don't really know who you're going to click with. Even if you're going for the first time, sometimes the friends that you have with you might not be people you want to camp with, and you really don't want to figure that out when you're going to be spending a week with them there.
That's true. And
Yeah,
also,
I'm
you can
awesome.
go with a tribe the first year to have that camaraderie and a place to go back to, so you don't have to worry about your stuff when you're out wandering. But make sure that they're aware and you're aware that it's a trial run. You might find something else. You might find that they are your people. You might find somebody else.
Yeah, I'm like, and see a lot of people that join the wrong tribe. I mean, burnout's real, and a lot of people that join the wrong tribe hit burnout a lot quicker than people that have found their people or go by themselves.
That is true, though, Ravage. A lot of people don't bring that up. I think as long as you're upfront with, not committing to stay with that tribe forever, it is a good thing, because camping with the tribe your first time like that, especially if you're interested in being in a tribe full time, it's a very good experience. And like you said, there's a lot of safety in that if you're looking to be in the city and stuff, and it'll kind of teach you what's expected of you to be in a tribe. But Yeah, most tribes don't make a big deal about you leaving, just as long as you're upfront and you don't tell them, the next year when you're arriving. Or something.
Pay your tribe dues, help support the tribe, make sure you help them tear up and tear down, and they won't mind. Then you'll have somebody to show you around, introduce you to people, but without the fear of commitment, like an open relationship with a tribe.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Polytribal's the way to be.
Exactly.
So you've been going since 2015, which that seems like the major year where a lot of people that are like big in the community provide a lot of stuff to it started. What would you say, because you were going for a while now, is your favorite thing about Wasteland?
Jeez.
It can be multiple. I don't mean to put pressure on just one thing.
Yeah, there's a lot that I love about it. I think one of my favorite things, and one of the reasons why I volunteer, but don't tell Jared because then he might stop giving me free entry, is volunteering on the wall.
He probably doesn't even listen to us anyway, so.
Oh, good. I love wall duty. Standing up there and just having no responsibilities but existing and looking cool and yelling at people, and it's the coolest area. Like literally, that you get a breeze up there, and so you don't overheat in the middle of the day. And people downstairs at command throw you snacks, and you just hang out with your friends and do cool war boy shit for 2 hours, multiple times a day throughout the week. But I also really love the shows. I think the people put a lot of work into these performances, and they don't get paid. They do it because they love it. And that comes across on the stage.
I have one of your shows recorded, and I gotta edit it. It's the show on the Den stage. I gotta show you and get your permission and everything beforehand. I don't think it shows your face, but
is that Tony?
Yeah, that's the one.
I want to see.
It just jogged my memory. That was a good one.
That one was a lot of fun.
That was a good show.
That mask had 0 visibility.
I'm very impressed then.
That was terrifying. I also really just enjoy the quiet moments at camp, like during the day when everybody is dying and just relaxing in the comfy spaces you've built. Like we put these hammocks in the Warboy structure that are just really nice to just hang out in.
It's a cozy camp.
Thank you. We try to make it real comfy. Like we want to make it look cool. And then as soon as we got the structure up, we're like, all right, you can put a hammock there, and you can put a mat there and a chair there. We make this super comfy cozy.
I do not spend enough time in your camp.
Come hang out. Come hang out. Lay in my hammock.
You're basically
I'm sold.
You're basically living that part of Fury Road where you just see everybody just lounging, like laying around after the bullet farmer's death.
Yep, that scene with like the Morton weirdly humming over his scepter, that is our lives at Wasteland. With the Morton humming too. Jeff definitely does that.
Phenomenal.
We'll jokingly call him Morton Jeff, so you know the difference between a Morton show and Morton
Jeff.
And also
he's Morton Joe right now. It's serious business.
We also call him a Morton Bay, but he's not too.
Aww.
He turns red when we call him that.
Which just encourages you to call him it more.
Exactly. He's young, hot, a Morton. That's what. Like early a Morton. It's great.
Heavy as the crown, a Morton Bay. Heavy as the crown.
Have you guys heard of this guy? I think his name is a Morton Bay. I could
put that in the new post-apocalypse.
I could spread this everywhere.
Don't do it. He'll kill me.
Sabotage.
He won't look at me ever again. But Bartertown is also really magical, even though most people don't barter there.
I do.
I try, and they're like, "Oh,
I barter with real money."
Yeah, that's what they usually barter with.
You barter with old world money.
Old world money. But finding
but it's real.
Those actual barter events, like high stakes bartering, that's a really fun one.
Ooh, what's that?
I've heard this.
I think it happens at the Mushroom Cloud Lounge, if I remember correctly.
Oh, that's right. I know they call it like it's like a black market. It's the big items, right?
Yeah, you bring like really like actual expensive things or really cool things or things that put a lot of work in that you're actually willing to barter. And some of the stuff that they were trading, I think somebody had a it's like a violin, and then somebody brought like a barrel full of honey to make mead. We traded that. It was very cool seeing the stuff that they had there.
This next year, I want to go around like Yule Hauser and just be like, and what do you have here? And just ask everybody. Well, that's just amazing.
This is my crown made out of bullet casings.
Okay,
is that aw? That's right, she does. And this is a real mummified human hand. How about that?
We had a real human skull last year.
Ooh, well, there was quite a few.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I licked one of them.
Yeah.
I forgot where I got thrown off. By
That's
that
something
tail.
you could do before COVID-19.
Yeah, don't do that now.
Before time.
Yeah,
it wasn't
during,
the first one I've done that to, but that's
during the plague, try to avoid licking actual human skulls.
I
Just
feel like
FYI.
I mentioned that in my last video. I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that we're not going to be able to do anymore at these events, and I thought about moments like that, and I was like, and there's a lot of things we shouldn't have been doing at these events, probably in hindsight.
I will not confess how many faces I have looked at Wasteland,
Crunchy.
but it is more than one.
Yeah, that time
And
is
I'm
over.
sad I
guys.
can't do it anymore.
Oh,
We'll just
poor
put
thing.
We'll just put cellophane over cellophane over somebody's cheek. You can
Okay,
sadly
figure out a
live
way.
through.
A
Also
dental
Thunderdome.
dam.
Got to talk about Thunderdome.
Oh,
Don't lick
that's
Have
right.
you,
Don't lick
have you
the Thunderdome.
competed in Thunderdome? No, I would never lick Thunderdome. I'm not stupid.
I got kicked in the head the first
Ooh.
time I ever saw Thunderdome. It's on video.
I would not
how
Were
it
you
lick
goes.
in the
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome?
No, I wasn't competing. I was climbing. I was climbing
That's
up.
the most Thunderdome thing I've ever heard.
I was climbing up, and then I was like, wow, I got really high because I was super impressed because I'm very stubby. And then this girl slipped and her foot crushed my hand, and I was like, ow. And then she goes, sorry. And when she lifted up her foot, she just kicked me right in the face.
You're like, ow again.
Yes.
At least you didn't
I
fall.
think I forgot the pain.
It was, and then I was like, now how am I going to get down? Because it's a lot harder to get down than to get up, actually.
Yeah, because there's all those people's faces below you. You don't want to kick them.
Become
Just kick
entrapped.
them. Just
I
hold
have
their
not-
hands. It's fine.
I have not done Thunderdome. I have concerns about the dust, and I have asthma.
Oh, very
yeah.
valid.
So I'd like to at some point, but it'd have to be like I'd have to find the right mask and the right opponent.
I just want to bounce up and down in Thunderdome. I don't want to
Yeah, I
fight
want
anybody.
to play in the things. They look fun.
Yeah.
They'd probably let you if you asked.
So I commented on that, and someone was like, "You pay for that in blood," and I was like, "That sounds like blood magic, sir." And he didn't respond, and I'm like, "Dude, that was funny." I know.
Thunderdome, I bled when a girl accidentally kicked me in the face, and I go in and film inside.
Yeah, I have blood before.
One day I will fight in Thunderdome.
Ooh, if you guys hear that and you want to be the opponent of Ravage, now's your chance to prepare for a year.
Just make sure I have my inhaler handy.
Aw, you should do that before you start. Like, instead of chroming your mouth, use your inhaler.
They're like, "No, I have a chance. Hide your inhaler."
I'm gonna make a chrome case for my inhaler so nobody's just sees this
Ooh.
immersion breaking red inhaler. Just hey guys.
This was great.
So, when did you know? When was the moment that you knew this event was for you?
Waiting in that hell line in 2015.
That was the worst line of all times. I'm really surprised that was when.
It was real bad, but like
Wasn't 16 worse?
16 was worse. 16 was the year that they
Oh, the
tried to do
dust storm
ditch
went
roll.
through.
Yeah, and they had
and
to
they
close
did
it for the
the
entire
tickets.
rest of the first day.
Yeah.
I'm
one was
apparently
worse.
one of the few people who missed the 2015 line.
Same.
Oh god, I don't know. I had like 3 new people in my tribe that year that were all stuck in that.
Yeah, 2015 was the first and only year I've done the regular line. And or regular entry. I don't know what you call it.
Is that why you volunteer so you don't have to do regular entry?
That is exactly it. In addition to enjoying being on the wall, I really enjoy not waiting in that line. But because our tribe has such big stuff, we also get early entry for setup. But yeah, that line that year was just like the perfect example of nobody had their gear on yet. Some people had like basic on, but it was just hanging out and drinking, even though you're not supposed to drink in line because the rules of the road still apply.
Drinking water.
Drinking water in line with my friends.
All my friends. They did not share beverages with strangers.
Yeah.
It was a different time, damn it.
It was a different time. Back in my day, you could suck on a stranger's beer.
Back on my day, we had pancake mornings where strangers just made pancakes every morning and you could go and they'd feed you.
Well, I mean, I might not make pancakes. I still make other things.
Yeah, but I know you. I didn't know this person. They just they just made pancakes every morning.
Oh yeah,
I
campaign.
remember them. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, campaign used to do the pancake breakfast.
Pancakes.
Yep.
That line was just like everybody I talked to was super friendly and welcoming and interesting, and I never felt awkward walking up to a stranger. And it was a new experience because like all the other communities I've been a part of, and I've been a part of like the geek community and the sex positive community and the goth community and the kink community and all these different communities they take some breaking into. And I never felt instantly welcome anywhere, like just waiting in line to get into Wasteland.
Yeah, there is a camaraderie there for sure. Because I think it's kind of like all those communities rolled into one with this weird post-apocalyptic commonality that everybody has. So there's
with some dirt thrown on it.
Yeah.
And some dehydration thrown in.
That's it. The dehydration makes us all friendly.
You really got to bond with people when you really need shade and water. You feel like you're
you
going
don't
to die.
You don't know, you don't know who that person's going to be that has that pickle popsicle when you need it or that extra water.
You better hope that's a pickle popsicle.
I can tell you, as per last year getting stuck in line, it is fun to, when you have a long line that is not moving for a while, just get out and walk the line.
Yep,
I was greeting everyone as the nightmare.
You can only walk the line until a certain point, and then Nick will yell at you and tell you to get back in your car. So,
yes, this is when we were further back in line.
Yeah. Disclaimer: if you're the first 100 cars, stay in your car. Stay in
your car.
I remember those years. It was a different time then.
The Wild West of the Wasteland line.
Another life.
But then, like after actually getting inside. Because, after getting into the regular entry, you're showing up on, back then, I think it was Thursday afternoon. And
you thought the line was great.
Yeah, everybody had already had everything set up. Everything was ready to go. And it was just like going into another world.
As you're driving, people are offering you cocktails. And you're like, I haven't even parked my car yet.
Yes. And like, we're driving, people were like, we're doing a barbecue tonight. We bought 500 pounds of brisket. Come get some for free. We brought this 50,000 gallon smoker here and we're smoking it all at once. And I'm just like, these people are paying to do this and they're sharing it with you. It was mind blowing. And you immediately want to be a part of it and like, okay, what can I do to get back to the community and be and integrate myself into this wonderful place? And it was day one was when I figured out this was my world.
Well said. That's very true. I guess the openness of it really inspires other people to want to be generous. Like you really, that is like a factor I don't think we've really touched on in this before.
Yeah, a lot of other communities tend to be more, this is mine. And, oh, you have yours too. That's cool. Maybe we can swap them sometime. But like Wasteland is very, here, have some of mine.
Yes. I made this thing. Would you like to experience it with me?
Yeah.
That's very true. There's, we got a lot of people. Tommy wants to fight you, Ravage. I think that's a challenge.
How dare
My money's on Ravage.
Well, the problem is I know Tommy will never fight me in the Thunderdome because he is currently undefeated. Because he fought once and won once. And
Del Scorcho's got some moves.
Yeah, Del Scorcho.
Are we talking about Tommy or Del Scorcho? Because did we just
get two different people? It's true.
Did we just reveal his secret identity?
Are they? I don't
The
know.
plot thickens.
I mean,
Well-
Del Scorcho did beat One Punch Man.
Everybody
Yes.
wanted to beat One Punch Man, though.
Now he's
But it was Del
retired.
Scorcho that
He's
did
going
it.
out. He's going out on top.
Yeah, he's. I know I don't have to worry about it because he's not going to risk that perfect streak.
Ooh.
Because he's going to lose. Sorry,
Exactly.
Tommy.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Sorry, not sorry. Hashtag Team Ravage. Said it here
Oh,
first.
no. Are we starting another one of those?
We start a war.
Are there shirts? Is there like a secret handshake?
I guess to be fair, I'll be
Ooh.
on Team Del Scorcho.
Of course you would.
Look, I'm providing balance.
You MRAs.
Sabotage.
He said I'd risk it all for Ravage.
Oh,
Aww.
Punch you in the
So you're
teeth
gonna
in the
kick-
Thunderdome.
So his weapon's just going to be an extra inhaler for you.
Yay!
besides, I like supporting an underdog.
Oh.
Oh, he's undefeated. How am I not the underdog?
Have you met yourself? Come on.
Have you met yourself, Red?
Let's give you more
I just
attention.
remember I saw somebody in the chat talked about the Warboys camp. I can't find it, but I remember last year during the big dust storm, which we were. I know that in some of the photographs, the Death Caps camp and also the Wrecking Crews camp, like we specifically had a giant like duster hitting just our camps. And
It was
I remember we were walking because if you guys haven't seen the Order of the V8 camp has like big like steel scaffolding. I remember we were walking, one of my tribe mates like, what the fuck? How come their tribe isn't getting jacked up? And I was like, it's made of fucking steel. Like, how messed up can it be? I was like, of course it's not getting jacked up. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's breaking some of the wind to save our camp.
It
It's like
definitely
you-
was.
Like, it's a very
Theirs
We
is
had
not
a-
made out of a parachute.
Yeah, I mean, we had
Yeah,
to
exactly.
rip off. I mean, there was a parachute on it that we had to take down. We had to rip off pretty much all of our fabric because it was becoming a little sail-like. But we were at the weight of that structure and the fact that it's set up in a giant cube is in such a way that if the wind knocks that over, it's a tornado and we've got bigger things to worry about.
It's a good layout. It's a good layout for sure.
And we had it
Now-
lag bolted into the ground too, just for
You
extra
guys seem to
precaution.
set it up pretty fast too.
It's easy. It's basically giant Lego.
Yeah, scaffolding goes up very easy.
Yeah.
As long as
Which
the
is-
pieces fit.
It's one of the really nice
Yeah.
things about a lot of the newer Neotropolis stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I
that's-
helped set that up at one of the build weekends, and that was way
Mhm.
easier than ours.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still holding on hope that they'll do.
Jeez.
I'm really hoping they do another open house type thing because I missed the first press open house and it's one of the biggest regrets of my life and I really want to see it again.
It's
It was-
very cool.
It was a lot of fun setting it up.
Mhm.
Setting it up
God,
and
Billy Bob
seeing
Thornton.
it set up were both pretty incredible. So I'm really stoked to see what they do with an extra year.
I really want to. I know it's going to be pretty neat. So the other golden question. I was going to say this is the golden question. But I think I said that about the last one. This one's equally valid.
Equally golden.
If you could join another tribe, what would it be? What's your like other favorite camps or areas at Wasteland?
Oof, that
We know that you want to say our tribes, but you can't because it's
yeah,
biased.
no,
so
I can't do the
you're
bias.
good.
So
Yeah,
these
yeah.
are the backup answers.
Okay.
Either Thunderdome or Wasted Saints.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I really dig the
I feel
Wasted
like
Saints aesthetic.
everybody says the Saints.
The Wasted Saints
Do you
are
wanna be
very
a-
aesthetically pleasing.
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you want to be a part of Thunderdome so you can spin on the?
Yes, that's
Inside.
my ultimate goal is to infiltrate and join the tribe.
I support
I
this.
also really like the Black Thumb folks. The stuff they do with their cars is just
Definitely.
mind blowing. There's a lot of really good tribes that would be an honor to be a part of.
Aw.
What
Just a
tribe
lot.
don't you want? No, I'm just kidding.
What's your least favorite?
The air raid sirens, the death caps.
20 Mule Team.
Yep. Now the House of Midnight NCR.
We have fun here. Do you guys have any questions for Ravage before we wrap this all up?
I do. So, since you're a writer in real life, have you written any articles for the newspaper?
Ooh, good question.
No, I I've thought about it. I was interviewed for an article in it last year. We did a wheel making class where you can make your own, steering wheel, like in Fury Road with Samoda. Samoda, that's another tribe that I would join in a heartbeat.
Great tribe.
They
Love
are
you, Gemini.
incredible. But yeah, we did a wheel making class with them, and that was a lot of fun. And somebody from the newspaper came over there and interviewed us, and I would love the opportunity to do so. I'm not entirely sure who I would talk to about that or where I'd find the time to do so.
Deadline.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, you can reach out to Deadline as well, but they're always looking for people to write articles.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
even if it's
yeah.
about even if you want to write about your own tribe, like especially actually if you're writing about your own tribe and things that are happening inside your tribe, they want all of that.
Yeah, they solicit.
My articles.
Yeah.
They would just be warboy propaganda.
Oh,
Yeah.
they'd be happy for it. They solicit full articles, editorial pieces. They do advertisements.
I think I'll just write it in like the style of like North Korean glorious leader propaganda.
Yeah.
Do several. You can be in the paper every day.
Yeah, multiple times a day if you want.
Man,
I did write. We handed out. We didn't get to do as much of this last year as we wanted to because we had a whole bunch of stuff on our plate. But we did a little bit of going door to door, sort of like Jehovah's Witnesses, but we were Joe's Witnesses.
That's rad.
And we had a copy.
Pamphlets.
Did you get one? Our copy of the Watchtower, but it was the Citadel.
I think I have it. Yeah.
Yeah. So we handed out the Citadel with information on, how to get into Valhalla and who Morton Joe is and how you can serve him. And it was really fun writing that sort of religious propaganda for that.
How you too can be witnessed.
Exactly. And we had like a war boy with the sun behind him in shadow on the cover to mirror the sort of doubts that the Watchtower magazines are supposed to incur within you. So that was a lot of fun to write that. So I would definitely be interested in writing more stuff.
I have another question.
You go, and then I'll go.
So you co-run the Bombshells, and you co-run a tribe of war boys. Who is harder to handle?
Ooh, good question.
That is a good question.
Who's easier to handle?
It's neither one are particularly difficult.
Aww.
It's the war boys are a fantastic tribe of wonderful people who most of us have our own things that we do, but we always come together every night and hang out together and go on our war raids and, drink Bikini Atoll dry. And they're very, very easy to manage. The folks who have wall duty are good at keeping up on their own schedules. And we've started doing more mission type things. And everybody's really excited about them. So they kind of run themselves. And the Bombshells, we practice every week at my house for a few months before Wasteland.
Aww.
So we know exactly what time we're supposed to show up and what we're doing when we get there. So we don't have a lot of those like pre-show concerns because we've already seen what everybody's doing.
Smart.
So we know what they're doing. We know it's going to be badass, and we know what time they're going to be on stage, and they're going to be actually on stage an hour later than the time they're supposed to be on stage.
Especially if it's main stage.
Especially if it's main stage. So they're both really good groups of folks who are very good at maintaining accountability so that I don't have to wear the leader hat very often.
Shout out to Rivet, the cutest war boy.
Rivet is the cutest war boy.
I had a great moment. I think it's on film in the last Wasteland video that I think aptly describes how the war boys are, where I was walking by the wall and Rivet was up there looking intimidating. And I was like, Rivet's the cutest war boy. And in like 2 seconds, she like kind of broke character and was like, oh, hi, Taylor. And like waved very sweetly. It was very cute.
I live for those moments where people like break character for half a second. And then it's like, okay, don't mess with me anymore.
She was all smiling. It was very cute.
Rivet is the cutest war boy. Throttle is the hottest war boy.
I think everybody can agree on that.
Yeah. And I also love that like everybody's favorite war boys are the bio female war boys.
Yeah, actually, now that you bring it up.
I mean, our bio boys are wonderful. We adore them, but everybody always talks about Rivet and Throttle.
And you.
Yeah, I was about to say. non-binary war boy.
More attention. More attention.
Everyone look at Ravage.
You don't have to be a boy to be a war boy.
Exactly.
Everybody
War boy is
start
gender
adding
neutral.
Ravage on Facebook and Instagram and
What is it like? Follow and subscribe.
yes.
Actually,
Smash the
yeah.
subscribe button.
If you guys want to see Ravage's social media, they are linked in the description with various Instagrams and Facebook.
Now, Ravage, actually, in a similar vein to what we were just discussing, for your participation in the bombshells, obviously a lot of stuff has been postponed. But are there any performances or performance ideas or themes that you might want to titillate the audience with in the future?
Ooh. Well,
Titillate.
That's right.
That is
Titillate,
what we do.
tantalize.
We're tantalizing titilators and titillating tantalizers.
I'm listening.
We want to try and do more big group numbers. We know we had a lot of success with those last year. That worked very well. Maybe also some streaming type stuff to keep everybody, to hold you over until you can see us live again.
We're thirsty.
Yeah, gonna slate your thirsts.
Mhm.
And hopefully more fire. We'd like to do more crazy fire things. I'd like to break the fire crown out again.
Yes, that was
Fire crown
cool.
is very sick.
I'm very happy with that. That was just a Samba crown that I bought off of Etsy and then paid fire toy makers to add wicks to the tips. That worked out very well.
Keep us posted if you guys end up doing those performances and stuff, because we'll definitely plug it. Excuse my dog; she's vigorously scratching at the door right now. She wants in on this burlesque action.
I mean, she's not wrong.
You're lucky the interpreter's not scratching at your door.
True.
All right, I
That
think we
involves
actually made it
pants.
Or does it? I'm proud of us, you guys. I think we actually made it straight to the hour mark. We didn't end up going super over this time.
I mean,
I'm sorry,
we
I'm
can
so
keep
boring.
going. No,
No.
we can keep going.
We can pack in
No.
at least another 30 minutes of asking deeply personal Ravage questions. Like, how many push-ups and pull-ups can you do?
Oh.
What is the easiest way to bribe anybody in the Order of V8? Not that you guys are bribable, but
Oh, we're definitely bribable.
Fruits and vegetables.
No, we've got those. We've got, the Citadel's got that green spot up on top.
That's right.
What was it like having your head shaved?
Oh
that was
yeah, you're the famous creature featured in the
Creature?
the Wasteland when the Wasteland ad that got your head shaved. It was
Wait,
pretty
what?
epic.
I'm in an ad?
No, you're in the video, the Wasteland video.
It was in the main
Yeah,
video.
it's the beginning of the video.
Let's be real; those are kind of ads for Wasteland.
You're
Yeah,
right.
it's like the beginning of the whole thing.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
come to Wasteland, people randomly grab you and shave your head, and then you join this cult.
you know what? I should make it so that
what was
Warboys
that
don't believe
like?
in sunscreen as part of our cult, because we don't have to use it because the body paint counts with sunscreen.
I'm like, I can't join.
Um,
I feel excluded.
I mean, the Imperators wear sunscreen, but the Warboys don't wear sunscreen.
Tommy has a
and-
question.
Oh God! Wait, which of these
go ahead,
questions do you actually want me to answer?
No, answer.
in-
Answer. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I'm interested in the one that I
Absolutely.
asked.
the head question.
I forgot what it was, Fahrenheit.
Oh, what was it like? That whole experience?
Oh,
Getting your head shaved.
Yeah,
Like
so
just being grabbed off the street and living out that?
that was a lot of fun. That was a more playing type aspect of Wasteland that like a lot of the times at Wasteland I don't feel like we're role playing. I feel like I'm just me with a different nickname and a bunch of paint on. But that was one of the instances that was really just like full on role play. And I planned on shaving my head at the event for a while and just told everybody beforehand. It was like, this is where it's happening and when it's happening, if that's something that you wanted to get coverage of. then I like picked the war boys who wanted to do it, but I also had to reconcile it with their body shop schedule for getting painted to go on the wall. So like we had this window of like 10 minutes where we could actually do it between opening ceremony and them having to get in makeup.
I am very surprised that ran on time.
I mean we've gotten the body shop schedule down real well after 5 years of doing it.
Just like in my head, nothing is on time at Wasteland. So I'm like, wow.
The first day runs a little late because we're starting from scratch, but the next days are always real fast because they just add on top of yesterday's paint. But it actually worked out, and it happened within 30 minutes of when we were planning to have it happen, which is on time as far as Wasteland's concerned.
Oh, that's very on time.
Yeah. And we Warsong, the war boy who threw me over his shoulder, is he's like a martial artist, so he's really strong. I was like, okay, you're the one who's gonna grab me and like pick me up, and we'll do that. And guys, just go full war boy with this, and cut my locks off, but keep them. Like I want to keep these. These are souvenirs. Make sure they can go on the ground, but like don't lose them, and try and cut close to the head so they stay as long as possible. And
a lot of magic in those.
Yeah, so there's the fear of the acting fear of like, oh no, I've been kidnapped and my head's being shaved, but also the fear of 3 war boys who are also acting and getting into it, who have scissors near my head while I'm also supposed to be acting like I'm trying to get away. So that was pretty exhilarating, and it was a lot of fun to get into character in a real way.
That's a lot of trust too. That just shows how much trust you have within your tribe as well.
Oh, definitely. I trust every single one of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't let any of the death caps get near my fucking head.
I would not let my other 2 air raid sirens near my head with scissors.
If you need help, if either of you need help, I'm happy to assist.
Yeah, fake news.
I do want a mohawk at some point.
But if you're going for balls, it doesn't really matter if
we'll
they
help
mess with
you.
the scissor part.
Yeah.
That's true. Wait, so what became of the locks?
I gave a few away to certain people. I know that one is been sewn onto a friend's Wasteland vest jacket thing.
That's beautiful.
A couple, one person braided it into their hair right after I handed it to them.
Plus 3 charisma.
Yes. How dare you?
Like only 3?
How dare both of you?
That's a lot.
3 is very high in the D&D world. That's like increasing your score by 6.
It's only 1 lock.
You're all monsters.
Have you met Ravage? Come on.
I came on the show to have a nice time.
And honestly, I'm just feeling so attacked.
They keep talking about me.
They keep telling me I'm a nice person.
I hate it. I'm mean. I'm a war boy. You're supposed to be scared of me.
You're the cutest, scariest war boy.
How dare you? Quitting. And the rest of the locks are in a bag in my Wasteland bin because I haven't figured out what I'm doing with them yet. I also kept most of them so that if I ever wanted my locks back, I could just lock them back into my hair when it grows out.
Smart.
Yeah,
those are some long locks. They were powerful.
Oh, thank you. I like them a lot, but I like the shaved short hair look. That's really working for me right now.
The person who cut them should have earned the Wasteland name Delilah.
Ooh.
Actually,
like
one of the people cutting the locks, his name is Lila.
That is.
That's
Her war boy name is Whisper, though.
That's a very good idea.
Oh, Whisper. I don't whisper. Tommy says,
that's a very important question from Tommy right now.
I don't play Animal Crossing, so I don't know how to answer it.
I don't
know.
I don't play Animal Crossing, but I suspect people would say that I'm Tom Nook.
I was about to say, yeah. Which Animal Crossing villagers would Miss Mayor, the Interpreter, Mr. Fahrenheit, and Ravage be?
I think that Miss Mayor is probably Flick. Flick is this adorable punk rock. Look him up. He's this adorable little lizard who's obsessed with bugs and gets really excited. Yeah. Gets really excited when somebody has bugs for him and when somebody gets a commission from him. And he's the sweetest thing. And he waxes poetic about bugs whenever you talk to him.
Oh, definitely.
Fahrenheit. I don't know. Tom Nook's real nice. He gives you interest-free loans for with no deadline.
Does
people
he?
get-
Or is that just what he tells you?
They're interest-free. My
See?
kneecaps are
Sabotage.
intact. Fahrenheit, I think you are red.
Now, are we talking about current Animal Crossing or like original Animal Crossing?
Current Animal
think-
Crossing.
Okay,
I've
because
never-
original
I've never
Animal
played
Crossing.
original games.
Because original Animal Crossing, my understanding is Tom Nook's a real son of a bitch. Like he's like, hey, here's your house. By the way, you owe me a ton of money. Don't worry about it. I'm sure you can find work to pay me off. By the way, I own the only place you can get work.
Yeah, I've
Animal
only played the new Animal Crossing.
I see. So
Wait,
who do you
so
think it would be
new
in
Animal
current
Crossing-
Animal Crossing?
There's a
Yeah, who's
character
Red?
named Red, Redd, who's a shady fox who sometimes shows up in a black smoke spouting shit.
Yes,
on
that's
the back of your
Fahrenheit.
island.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that one.
And he sells you art. Some of the art is real, some of the art is fake, and he doesn't tell you which is which.
Oh, that is
so
so Fahrenheit.
so glamorous.
That's a real
I'm an
sabotage.
art dealer.
Look, I've dealt in art before.
See,
And interpreter.
Ravage is right.
Let me think.
Who's the loudest?
I'm like, am I a
No.
radish?
What's the one that can't stop laughing?
Oh, I don't know that one.
He's making it up.
Oh,
He's
it might
never
be.
played.
I'm thinking maybe Celeste. Celeste is this adorable owl that shows up at night and wants you to look at stars with her and gives you
That sounds about right.
recipes
I'll
for
take
how
it.
to make cool star stuff.
Oh,
I'll take it.
And what would you be, Ravage?
Oh, forgot that part.
We can be the same character if you want.
I want to help you, but I can't. I've never played Animal Crossing.
I've never played either.
I'm not sure. Now I'm trying to think of all the characters.
Tommy, who would Ravage be?
yes.
Or people in the listening?
Since
In the
your
listening.
since your sample group is surprisingly devoid of people who play Animal Crossing.
Who's the dog with the distinctive eyebrows that plays the guitar?
Oh, that's KK Slider. Distinctive eyebrows.
AK Slider.
He owns every album is a different genre.
I've been
I've got
seeing
KK Rockabilly playing in my house right now.
Oh man.
I've been seeing that dog all over my Instagram because people keep making fake album covers like of his, and they're like parodies of real albums, and it's the only thing that friggin' shows up like, on all the time. Ooh, there's goats in this game.
There
You
are.
would, Ms. Actually, you would probably love Animal Crossing.
And I'm looking at the characters right now.
Yeah, I think you need
What
to
about-
get it and then come visit my island because I built Wasteland on my island.
And there
What
can be
about-
Tarantula Islands and Scorpion Islands.
Who's Punchy?
Punchy.
It looks
Yeah,
like a
Punchy.
cat that has a shit-eating grin on its face. I'm looking through all their pictures right now.
It's just this shit cat with a shit-eating grin.
There's a deer that kind of looks like Aaron named Bo. Oh, that's not a. Is it a deer?
I think Bo is a deer. There's also like 500 different animals you can have on your island.
Tommy says Ravage is probably KK Slider because KK is a lot of different things to a lot of different people, like Ravage.
Oh, look at that, Tommy, for the win.
I think
Tommy,
Pig
why do you want to fight Ravage in the Thunderdome if you're so nice? Ugh.
No, he doesn't. Del Scorcho does.
Ah,
Confused.
That's why he has to wear the mask.
They need separate accounts
they do. They do need separate accounts
or accents.
or both.
One talks in caps and one talks in all lowercase.
I endorse that.
So you know who you're talking to.
Yes.
Del
All right.
Scorcho's just all caps Tommy.
Yes.
All
That's
right,
pretty
you
much
guys,
Wasteland.
it's been a little over an hour now. We are going to call it. Thank you, Ravage, for giving us your time, hanging out with us, being Wastelander of the Month.
Thank you so much for inviting me to talk and for honoring me by choosing me to be Wastelander of the Month. And
We
you
definitely
guys
like
are all
to-
right.
Aw, sorry.
Thank you
interrupt-
for everything that you do.
Thank you guys. You guys do. I feel like you guys do a lot too.
Eh.
Eh,
We can all do a lot.
we just play people that do a lot on TV.
I just
Well,
pretend to do a lot and take credit for other people's work.
That's true. She just throws up. She just throws up thumbs up and says that she worked or she helped.
Yeah.
We'll
Yes.
definitely get you back on here if you're down. So thank you. This was a
Yeah,
good
for
one.
sure.
All right, you guys. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. If you guys are curious about learning more about Ravage and their tribe and all the stuff they do, check the social media links in the description. We'll be back.
Oh, Ms., you're breaking up.
Next month with another Wasteland of the Month to feature. We'll keep you posted on everything. We will catch you guys later.
And have a lovely night.
What they said.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.